Now, there is plenty of excitement for the World Cup, which kicks off tonight. The more serious side to that, we know that during major football matches, domestic abuse can increase. A previous study from one police force showed that cases of domestic abuse rose by 38% when England lost and 26% when they won or drew. Sussex Police saw the number of 999 calls linked to domestic violence double during the last World Cup. A domestic abuse survivor has said that she fears people are using football as an excuse for the crime ahead of the World Cup. So it's a good time to remind people of our own campaign, Facing It Together, showing our support and solidarity with those currently facing domestic abuse, as well as survivors, and to let them know that they are not alone. Senator, you were part of that campaign, but also as a Liverpool girl, I'm a Glasgow girl, you kind of... And that's not in any way to suggest that all football fans in any way are perpetrators of domestic
No, I think what you're saying, we come from
the areas
towns,
with big football...
like Newcastle, Glasgow,
Yeah.
we come from big football background towns, and I know, as a Liverpool fan myself, it's not just the men, the women as well are hugely emotional when we play big games, especially we call it passion, but the problem is it has an upscale and it has a downscale, so you can go from the depths of we're never going to win to the joy of we've won, and those
peaks and troughs.
Peaks and troughs exactly form a graph which then you bring into your home or your relationship. And depending on where you are, your partner has to go along with it. And I think...
But is that somehow to sort of explain or excuse it? And we just shouldn't? We should just be 100% zero tolerance. There is no excuse for domestic abuse.
I think that, I mean, we're talking about again, you're talking about the most extreme version of that, but there's levels within that. You know, I know if Liverpool have lost, I'm not going to pick up the phone to speak to Noah and tell him, well, it was all, you know, because he's not in the mood. It's not. You can sense people's... You can, you know, you get a vibe, don't you? This isn't the time to talk about that. But what happens is, in some situations, there are football clubs I know that have managed to put in place banning orders, which means that hooliganism is no longer present in football clubs. You know, if you go, you will get banned if you cause violence in the stadium. Now, why can't we have the same applying for domestic abusers so that there is some record that the football club says you're not allowed to come and watch our football?
They're not all down on a record, of course.
Well, of course, but if there is, if we start this pattern, at least people will start thinking you can have to take accountability for your actions. If you're hitting your husband or wife or whatever in the throes of your disappointment, I'm sorry, there's a price to pay, and we need to ask football clubs to join with Women's Aid and try and see if there's something they can put in place.
Name it.
What's scary is that it's also saying that there's still a rise even when they win or draw. So this is a much more complex and deeper issue than necessarily just at the football. So it's happening anyway, but at those areas where it's rise. I feel like since I've been here for this amazing campaign we've done, but it's something that has been spoken about for some years, and I wonder what is really taking place to kind of stop it, because it's great to be able to say it, but the actions that need to be taken, like you said, needs to be done ASAP. It's such a bigger thing than obviously us talking about it, and we're talking about it in a way so that people have awareness, but then there needs to be a next stage. I think as well, one of the things that heighten it is alcohol.
Absolutely.
We all know when we have a drink, depending on what mood you're in, you get a little bit, you know what I mean, you might be even more happy or more sad. It does have an effect on how your behaviour is, and I think maybe that's something that needs to be looked at, whether it's in the venue or something.
It's different, because I so agree, and the thing is, because I'm sober now a lot of years, I never want to come over as the drink police, because I'm absolutely not. You know, if you can control your drinking and not go down the road I went off, fantastic, enjoy it. But there is something like, at one point, 97% of domestic abuse cases, as we now call it, were fuelled by alcohol.
Really?
My favourite quote is, alcohol is the only drug that you have to apologise for not taking. Oh, I'm really sorry I don't drink. No, honestly, I'm sorry I don't drink. It's wine o'clock, a cheeky little wine. It's still celebrated and it's abused. And the other thing is about one of the things I'm most proud of is our Facing It Together campaign in all the years that we've done this, certainly as a survivor of coercive abuse. Mine was never violent, but like I say, it's just that you can't see the bruises. And also female to male violence, again, fuelled a lot by alcohol. And an acquaintance, I won't say a friend, an acquaintance of mine wrote a book called why did you stay? Or why did I stay? And she wrote that because that's what everybody said. Wow. And in fact, it should be, no, go to the man. Why did you? Or go to the abuser. Not why did she stay? Why did you do this? Why are you continually doing it? And having spent some time with people who had been seriously abused and killed, the problem is that it's very, very hard when it's almost like, in some cases, with the police and the restrictions on them, well, until he kills you, we can't really do anything about it. You have to look at when it starts, because it will nearly always increase, and then it's too late.
And then it's things like funding and places where is someone going, where is, you know, there is great refugees and stuff like that out there, but getting that information to know, you know, sometimes people are so scared to leave because it's a much bigger thing, a financial thing, their children, and even sometimes when it is an issue of child protection, the child might be moved, but that person might still be there, and the periods where the police can't get there. I think what we're really saying is still, although it seems like there's a wall or a barrier, please don't give up hope in this moment.
Well, no, and certainly, you know, the government have got a strategy which is called Violence Against Women and Girls, and they're saying this includes rolling out pioneering domestic abuse protection orders to better protect victims, to tackle the abusers head-on, also embedding domestic abuse specialists in 999 control rooms.
Brilliant.
That's part of Raneem's law. And through the Enough campaign, they say they're working with some of the biggest names.
But we still have to have money to fund more refugees.
Challenge,
as well.
to challenge harmful behaviour. So there does seem to be some kind of acceptance that...
But quickly with the football, I think you said that in Scotland they now are not allowed alcohol within the stadium.
Well, it haven't for a long time. Yeah.
Wow. See, I think that's...
Yeah.
I think that's what should happen.
But it would be very
here.
interesting to see the stats, to see if it makes a difference. I guess that's the thing. Our Facing It Together page online has lots of support. Go to itv.com/Loose Women. And if you do need help, you can call the 24-hour National Domestic Abuse Helpline on free phone 0808 2000 247. We're back after this.